So now this is your third problem. The problem states that are these points, the point A 3, 1, the point B 6, 4 and point C 8, 6 collinear. So what are they asking? Are these 3 points collinear? Let me tell you about collinearity now. What does collinear mean? So if I place any 3 points or more than 3 points, in this case I'm just taking 3 points, and if these 3 points pass through the same straight line, alright, so if these 3 points are a part of the same straight line, then they are called as collinear. AR. So if 3 or more than 3 points lie in the same straight line, then it is said to be collinear. Let me give this point as A, B and this is C. Alright. So if you have coordinates of these 3 points, how will you find out if it is collinear or not? What we can do is find out the distance of A and B. Alright. Then we can find out the distance of B and C. And then what we can do is find out the whole distance. Then what we can say is AB plus BC should always give you AC, right? So by finding out, because you've only been given coordinates, you have to prove that this is collinear. So for us to prove that this is collinear, AB plus BC should be equal to AC, right? Only then we can prove that these 3 points are collinear. So let us do that. So in the question, I have given these points respectively one after the other. So you can place on the same straight line 3 points one after the other, which is A, B and C. But then I'm just trying to draw it into a graph so that you will understand it better. So we have 3, 1, that will be 3, 1, so it will be somewhere here. And then we'll have B as 6, 4. So 6, 4 will be somewhere here. And then 8, 6 will be somewhere even further, right? So it will be somewhere maybe here, right? So like when you try to place it on the graph, you will already get to know if they are collinear or not, because you can just draw a straight line through it and see if all the points are passing through it. But then in the case of only coordinates being given, they usually ask these kind of questions for maybe 4 or 5 marks. So you will have to prove using the distance formula. So I will take, this is my line, this as my point A, point B and point C. I know the coordinates of A, which is 3, 1. I know the coordinates of B, which is 6, 4. And I know the coordinate of C, which is 8, 6. Now what we have to do is, first we find the distance of AB by using these 2 coordinates. So let us find the distance of AB. So to do that, we use the distance formula. So the distance of AB will be equal to square root of x2. So let us choose x2 as this, and x1 and x1 and y1 as this. So x2 is 6 and x1 is 3. So x2 minus x1 the whole square, plus y2 is 4, y1 is 1. So it will be 4 minus 1 the whole square. So 6 minus 3 is 3 square, which is nothing but 9. And 4 minus 1 is also 3, which is 3 square will make it again 9. So 9 square root of 18. So we have our first distance here, which is AB, which is square root of 18. Let me place that here. Now let us find the distance of BC. Here we are just assuming, initially we are just assuming that they are in a straight line. Now we are trying to prove that they are in a straight line, okay? We don't know still if they are in the same straight line or not. We are using the distance formula to prove that. A, B, we found out the distance is square root of 18. Let us try to do the same for B and C. So to find the distance of BC, we have BC is equal to square root of 8 minus 6 the whole square plus 6 minus 4 the whole square. So 8 minus 6 will be 2 square plus 6 minus 4 will be 2 square. So 4 plus 4, 2 square is 4, right? So 4 plus 4 is 8, so this will be square root of 8. So we have this as square root of 8. Now that we have found A, B and BC, what we need to find is AC, which is the total distance. Don't just add square root of 18 plus square root of 8. No, we are trying to prove it. So to prove it, we need these two coordinates. So A and C, to find the distance of A and C totally, we need the coordinates 3, 1 and 8, 6. Only when we get this distance, we can finally conclude if this is collinear or not. So for that, let me use the green sketch pen. AC. So AC is equal to square root of, let us take 8 as x2 and 6 as y2. So x2 minus x1, which is 8 minus 3 the whole square plus 6 minus 1 the whole square. So 8 minus 3 will be 5 square plus 6 minus 1 is also 5. So 5 square. So 25 plus 25, right? Because 5 square is 25. So 25 plus 25 will be equal to square root of 50. So we found the total distance as square root of 50. So total distance square root of 50. Now let us see if the collinearity exists or not. So for that, what do we have to do? AB plus BC should be equal to AC. We know what is AB. AB is square root of 18 plus square root of 8. Now we need to know the decimal point number for square root of 18 and square root of 8 and also for square root of 50. So here are the decimal points. Square root of 18 is equal to 4.24 and square root of 8 is 2.82. Let us add this. So it will be 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it will be something equal to 7.06. So let us see if 7.06 is the same as square root of 50, 50. So if you try to find the square root of 50, you get the answer as 7.07. And here we have taken approximates, right? So that is why we got 7.06. So you can say that approximately they are all collinear. So you can say that the three coordinates that were given, A, B and C, they are collinear. Why? Because AB, which was square root of 18, plus BC, which was square root of 8, actually gave us something approximately equal to square root of 50. So we got 7.06, which is approximately equal to 7.07. This is the notation for approximate. Alright. So with this, we've finished studying about collinearity. So these kind of problems may come in your examination. So let us scrape out collinearity because we are done with the problem. Now we will talk about problems related to equidistance. Equidistance. It means that the points are at equal distance or there is equal distance between the points. So we have a problem here related to equidistance. So what does the problem state? Find a relation between x and y. So just look at this. Whenever they try to find a relation between x and y in mathematics, relation means equation, which means x can be maybe greater than y by 2 numbers or 1 number or 5 number. which translates in mathematics as, if I took an example of x being greater than y by 2, then I can say that x is equal to y plus 2. So that is an equation, right? So that is what they're trying to say. Find a relation between x and y, which means find an equation between x and y such that, so these are the conditions, the point x comma y is equidistant. Equidistance means that it is at equal distance. So find a relation between x and y such that the point x comma y is equidistant from the points 7 comma 1 and 3 comma 5. Now let me translate this whole statement into a diagram that will make you understand this better. So what do they say here? Find the relation of this point which is at equal distance from these 2 points. So when they say that this coordinate is at equidistance from these 2 coordinates, what they are trying to say is that I have this line, alright, this coordinate here is 7 comma 1. This coordinate here is 7 comma 1 and this coordinate here is 3 comma 5. And x comma y is equidistant to these 2 points, which means that when you divide this line into half, so when you divide it exactly into half, this point here will be your x comma y, and this point x comma y will have the same distance with the coordinate 7 comma 1 and will have the same distance with the coordinate 3 comma 5, which means if the distance of this is a, then the distance of this is also a. This is what is meant by equidistance. So using this concept, we will try to figure out the answer here. So this diagram makes us understand the question better, right? So this diagram that I've drawn here is the condition. So we've already understood the condition. Our main motive is to find the relation, right? So what they're asking us here is to find the relation, which is find the equation. So equation will consist of x and y somewhere. It will not consist of whole numbers everywhere. So by looking at this, let us just place these variables as the name for each and every coordinate. So A, B and C. So A has the coordinate 7 comma 1, B has the coordinate x comma y, C has the coordinate 3 comma 5. So if these are at equal distances, which means that A, B, which is this distance, will be equal to B, C, right? So using the distance formula here, you know that to find AB and to find BC, you have to use the distance formula. That is what we've been doing throughout this chapter. So after finding the distance, we'll have to equate them, and that will give us an equation or relation that we are talking about here. So let us do that first. So first let us find the distance of AB, right? AB is equal to, we know these are the 2 coordinates. The coordinate B is x comma y. It does not have numbers, but it has variables x comma y, and we'll be placing x comma y itself in the distance formula. So AB will be square root of x2 minus x1. What is x2? That is equal to x. What is x1? That is equal to 7. So what will it be? X minus 7. X minus 7 the whole square, plus here in this case y2 is equal to y and y1 is equal to 7. So it will be 1. So y minus 1 the whole square. So it will be y minus 1 the whole square. You don't have to go any further. This is where you leave this. If you try to square it, it will just become difficult for you, because you'll have to find the formula of a plus b the whole square or a minus b the whole square and then do all of that. You can do that later. For now, just leave this at this point. So AB is equal to this. BC. BC is what we are trying to find next. So for the distance BC, these are the coordinates that you will choose, which is x comma y and 3 comma 5. So we'll apply the distance formula here, which is x2 minus x1. So 3 minus x, the whole square, plus 5 minus y, the whole square, right? So we've got AB and we've got BC. They've told us in the condition itself that they are at equal distance, which means we already know that AB is equal to BC. So we'll just equate these two. So we have square root of x minus 7 the whole square plus y minus 1 the whole square, which is equal to BC, which is 3 minus x the whole square plus 5 minus y the whole square. So from the condition, we already know this. We need to find what? The relation. Relation means equation. So this will actually give us the equation. We just have to do some calculations further, some algebraic calculations further. So what you can do in this case is, you can cancel out the square root on both the sides, right? So only if there are square root on both the sides, you can cancel them. So we cancel the whole square, and now what does this become? X minus 7 the whole square plus y minus 1 the whole square is equal to 3 minus x the whole square plus 5 minus y the whole square. And what we can do now is, we can take all the x's to one side and all the y's to one side, right? So x minus 7 the whole square will remain here. 3 minus x the whole square will come here, but will become minus of 3 minus x the whole square. So x minus 7 the whole square, because this is coming here and this was positive here, so when this positive goes to the other side, it becomes negative. So it will be minus 3 minus x the whole square equal to 5 minus y the whole square remains here, and this plus will become here and become minus y minus 1 the whole square. Alright. Now let us use the formula a minus b the whole square. What is a minus b the whole square? A square plus 2ab, minus. So it will be a square minus 2ab plus b square. So using that formula, we can apply that here and write it down. So let me just note down the formula for you first. So the formula is a minus b the whole square is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. So this is your formula. Use that formula here. So x becomes your a, 7 becomes your b. So the formula for a minus b the whole square will be x square plus b square, which is 7 square, 49, minus 2 into a into b. So this is for this, and we're already done with that. Then we have minus of, I'm using the square bracket so you don't get confused with the equation inside. Here we have a as 3 and b as x. So what is the formula for a minus b the whole square? 3 square, which is a square, which is 9, plus b square, which is x square, minus 2 into a into b. So it will be 2 into 3 into x is equal to, let me write that down in the next line. This equation, I'll write it down in the next line. 5 minus y the whole square. So 5 is a, y is b. Use the formula here again. We get 25 plus y square minus 2 into a into b. Then we have this remaining. We again use the square bracket so that the equation inside, you don't get confused with that. So a minus b the whole square, y minus 1 the whole square, which would be y square plus 1 square minus 2 into A into B. Now we have all of this here. We just need to settle down all the plus and minus. So what you can do here is x square plus 49 remains the same minus 2, and in bracket we have 7. So it will be 2 into 7. What is 2 into 7? It will be 14. And x, you cannot multiply x with this thing, so it will just remain there. 14 into x. Then we have the minus of. So this minus will be placed before all of the numbers. But just remember, in this case here, it will be 2 into 3 into x. So this is totally equal to 2 into 3 is 6. So this totally becomes 6x. So let us just write that down for everything here. It will become 5 2s are 10. So this will become 10y. Here it will be 2 cross 1 is 2. So it will be 2y here again. So this will make your work easy. So then we have already done that. Now we just have to take this minus, and this minus will be multiplied with all the numbers inside because it is within a square bracket. So if there is a negative sign before the brackets, then that negative sign will have to be multiplied inside with all the numbers. So minus into 9 will be minus 9. Then minus into x square will be minus x square. Then minus into minus is plus. So this becomes plus. This totally becomes 6x. Right? Now that will be equal to 25 plus y square minus, we already know that this is 10y. Then we have minus, and then after that we have a square bracket. So what do we do here? Multiply this minus with the variable and the numbers inside. So we have minus y square. Then we have a minus 1. Minus got multiplied with plus, so it became minus 1. Now when minus gets multiplied with minus, we get a positive sign. So positive 2 and 2y. Now with this number here, with these variables and numbers here, let's just calculate further. You see that this x square and this minus x square just gets cancelled because 1 minus 1 is 0. So any number when subtracted with the same number, you will be left with 0. So x square minus x square got cancelled. Y square minus y square also got cancelled. So first look for positive and negative of the same number. If you can cancel that, it will make your work easy. So we have 49 as a whole number minus 9 as a whole number. So plus 49 minus 9 gives you 40. Then we have 14x minus 14x and 6x. Right? So minus 14 plus 6. X will remain the same. X, you cannot do anything to it. But what you can do is, because these have the same variable, you can subtract and add them. So we have minus 14 plus 6. So what is minus 14 plus 6? It is minus 8. So this will be minus 8x. X remains the same. It's just that the numbers are being added or subtracted. That will be equal to y square and minus y square already got cancelled. Let us only look at the whole numbers. We have 25 and minus 1. So 25 minus 1 is 24. And then what do we have? Minus 10y and plus 2y. So what is minus 10 plus 2? Minus 10 plus 2 will give you minus 8y. Right? Now what you can do is take the variables to one side and take the numbers to the other side, so it will make your work easy. So let me take the y to the other side. So what happens here is, if I take minus to the other side, it makes it plus. So it will become 8y minus 8x is equal to 24. 24 will remain on the same side. Now I have to bring this 40 to the other side. So if I bring 40 to the other side, it makes it minus 40. Right? So 8y, so 8 here is common. If you see 8y minus 8x, right? So you can take 8 as common. So 8 into y minus x is equal to 24 minus 40. So 24 minus 40 gives you minus 16. then what you can do here is y minus x remains on the same side is equal to, if you see there was a bracket here, and bracket means multiplication. So in this case, it was 8 into, right? So this 8 into, when it goes to the other side, it becomes divided by 8. So when there is multiplication on the other side, when it goes to the other side of the equation, then it becomes a division. So this 8 multiplication becomes a division here. So this becomes minus 16 divided by 8. So if you do this, 8 ones are 8, 8 twos are 16. So you get y minus x is equal to minus 2. If you want to get rid of this minus, you can take it to the other side. So the minus will go on the other side and it will become positive 2. So it will be minus of y minus x is equal to 2, because I just took negative and placed it on the other side. Now this minus will have to be multiplied with y and x. So to do that, minus y will be minus y. Now if you see, minus of minus is plus. So you can actually place the positive number first. Minus of minus is plus. So plus x. Then you can place the minus y. So x minus y will give you 2. And this is the relation that you get between x and y. Finally, you are done with the problem related to equidistance. So let us go through this problem again. It's just because there was a lot of calculation, you might find it a little difficult, but it's the most easiest of all. Let us just go through the process once again. So this was the question. There was a condition given and you had to find the relation, which means you had to find the equation. We took the condition and we converted it into a diagram and saw that A and B are at equidistance from B and C, right? So we took the two coordinates and we got to know that using the equidistance theory that AB should be equal to BC, right? AB should be equal to BC. And if AB is equal to BC, then AB plus BC will give us the whole line AC. So we use that theory to get the equation here. Then we used the distance formula to find AB. Then we used the distance formula to find BC. Now these two, they had a few variables like x and y in them. So we could not go further to find out the number because we have to find out the relation, right? We don't have to find out the distance here, but the relation. Distance, we find the distance only to get the equations here. So we took AB, then we took BC. Now we know that AB is equal to BC. So AB is here, BC is here. We go on further calculating using A minus B the whole square as well. And then finally you get your equation as x minus y is equal to 2. So now that we have done the problem on equidistance, we can even scrape out equidistance. So we perform problems on the properties of a triangle, properties of a square, collinearity, and equidistance. So this is the end of your distance formula, but not your coordinate geometry. In this, we only discussed about the problems related to distance formula. In the next session, we will be talking about section formula. So for now, just keep practicing all the properties. Try to remember all the properties of geometrical figures like triangle and square, and the theory and concept behind collinearity and equidistance. You will be able to figure out all the answers, the proof, the distance, everything. Just do your calculations properly and you will be fine.